Hi, my name is Greg Lowry, and I'm the data manager at the Opportunity Project. This is a title tutorial on how to take and edit attendance, as well as some strategies on making attendance taking easier at your site. To start, log into Title and click the site at which you're going to be taking attendance. There are a few methods that we can use. I'm going to start with the method that an individual might use to take attendance for their own individual program. So I'll use this test club as my example. Because I've already created a schedule and enrolled students, when I click the attendance tab, I'll be given a list of all of the scheduled days that have students enrolled, as well as the total of enrolled students there. This will always track how many students are enrolled, so if at some point a student is dropped or another one is added, this total will change as necessary. To take attendance, I click on the day on which I'm taking attendance, and I'll be given a list of all of the enrolled students, as well as the option to click present or absent. I can also click all present or all absent so that I know and can then change from there. Once I've done this, I can click save and return. To note, it will show me the total of students that were present, the total students that were enrolled, and it's also turned green to note that every student has had some attendance record taken, whether that be present or absent. If I only take partial attendance on a given day, the number will turn orange to let me know that there are students who still have missing attendance records, even though some attendance records have been taken. Even if all students are absent, if that is marked correctly for attendance, it will still show as green to say attendance has been taken for all youth. That's really the end of attendance. That might be the only thing you need to do on a daily basis when you're leading club to take attendance. However, let's assume that you're someone who might not have a computer handy or that's not conducive to your club to start. Once I click a day for attendance, I also have the option to click a printer icon. This will shortly bring up a PDF file that you can print out. So for Monday, August 17th, I'll click the printer icon, and it will generate a PDF report for this day, for this club, including time, staff member, room if you have it, the list of enrolled students, a space to mark present or absent, a barcode scanner that I'll review later, and a place for them to sign and take notes if you need. This is helpful if you'd like to print something out to have to take attendance on that you can then use later to record attendance in the computer digitally. Or if you're a coordinator, you can print this for every club to have a method to record attendance, collect it, and put it into Title after the fact. We still require that attendance is taken as soon as possible by the end of the day at the latest of the program happening so that we have accurate records of where students are when we are legally responsible for them. This is a really important factor for student safety, as you can imagine. Returning to Title, when I come back to this attendance list, this is where I can go back and also edit attendance if I need to, because I realize that I made a mistake or I somehow forgot to at the end of the day yesterday, and I'm going to get there within 24 hours and take that attendance so we have accurate records. This will not lock you out of previous days of attendance like other systems might. So that's individual attendance. I'm going to click Group Programs and show you a few other methods. If you are someone who takes attendance for multiple clubs, you're a site coordinator, for example, it might be prudent to use View by Date at the top of the Group Programs page. So click Group Programs on the left and click View by Date on the top. Here, there will be a list of every date for which there is programming scheduled within the current default date range. I'll choose the 7th, for example, and it will give me a list of every youth that is enrolled in any club and what club they're enrolled in for that day. And I'll be able to do present, absent, all absent. Because this list can get kind of long, this is a really helpful way to start doing all youth at once, and it will keep them alphabetical. However, that might not be the most conducive thing for you to do. If you do, you can take all present or record your attendance as you see fit, save it, and when we go back, those attendance records will have been entered. I'll click Group Programs again, and now I'm going to show you a few other options that you can use to print multiple attendance sheets at once. If you feel comfortable completing attendance digitally, this is the end of the tutorial for you. In order to print some paper options, I can either print the paper version that you saw me print from a single day of a single club, or I can click the reports option on the left. If I scroll down to the section that says Attendance Collection Tools, it will give me a few helpful options. If I click Single Day Attendance Sheet, it will allow me to create an attendance sheet for either today, tomorrow, or any given date that I need. If I click the print barcodes, it will look exactly like what you saw on the other one that I printed for that single day of a club. However, this one will be unique because when I generate it, it will generate one for any club that has a scheduled date. Notably, I don't have any club that has a scheduled date on August 6th, so there's nothing for it to generate. Let's go to another day that might have clubs. And we'll see that it has my example club that has a meeting on that Wednesday, but it's also created one for my test club that has a meeting that Wednesday as well and has the students that are enrolled there. You'll notice that because I was just taking attendance, there are already attendance records marked on this sheet because it has them. This is again a helpful way to print a sheet for every club so that you can record paper attendance and then take it back and record it electronically later. However, there will also be a tutorial video on how to use a barcode scanner to utilize this to enter the attendance in a slightly easier fashion. Back on my reports page, under attendance collection tools, I can also use a multi-day attendance sheet. This one will work similarly. You can choose the beginning date, the number of days, and which services, all, none, or only some, that you would like to do it for. However, this one does not have barcode scanning capabilities. This is only to record on paper and then later come back and record in title. And last but not least, under attendance collection tools, you'll see the sign-in sheet. This one is again a single day sheet. However, it has two options. You can print sign-in sheets for each activity, just like the single day attendance sheet, but horizontal, or you can print a master list, which, like the view by date view, will generate a list alphabetically of all students engaging in any club that day. And they'll be listed there for you. Again, there's space to record on paper, but a barcode scanner that you can use, which I'll show you how to do in another video. These are all different ways that you can take attendance. If you are taking attendance on paper and you're not using a barcode scanner, it is of course imperative that you come back and record that in title. But at that point, your attendance is recorded. And at any point, if you need to review that attendance, you can click on the club and click attendance at the very top to get back to where we started. That concludes our attendance taking tutorial. Like I said, if you'd like to know more about how to use the barcode scanners, you can check that out in another video. Thank you so much for watching.